Joe Biden assumed the presidency at a tumultuous time. The nation grappled with a global pandemic, economic uncertainty, and deep political divisions. Biden, with his decades of experience, projected an aura of calm and stability. He offered a reassuring presence, a stark contrast to the turbulence of the previous administration. But Biden is more than just a calming figurehead. He possesses a core set of values that have shaped his leadership. Biden's journey to the White House is a testament to his resilience. He has faced personal tragedies and political setbacks, yet he has always persevered, guided by his empathy for others and his unwavering belief in the American spirit. This blend of strength and compassion has been a hallmark of his presidency. Biden's leadership is not defined by flash or drama. He is a pragmatist, focused on finding common ground and delivering results. This approach might not always grab headlines, but it reflects his deep commitment to serving the needs of all Americans. His presidency is a study in quiet determination, a steady hand guiding the nation through challenging times. Biden's commitment to bipartisanship, however, has been tested in the face of intense political polarization. His efforts to reach across the aisle have often been met with resistance, highlighting the deep divisions that continue to plague American politics. Yet Biden remains undeterred, believing that dialogue and compromise are essential for a functioning democracy. His presidency serves as a reminder that leadership requires not just strength of conviction, but also the humility to listen and the willingness to find common ground. Joe Biden's political career has spanned over 5 decades. Throughout this time, he's consistently demonstrated a commitment to his principles. From his early days as a senator, he earned a reputation for honesty and integrity. These qualities have been tested time and again, but they remain cornerstones of his leadership. Biden's principles are rooted in his upbringing. He was taught the importance of hard work, fairness, and looking out for those less fortunate. These values have guided his policy decisions and his interactions with world leaders. He believes in the power of diplomacy and the importance of building consensus. Biden's commitment to his principles has not wavered, even when facing difficult choices. His decisions, even when unpopular, are driven by a deep sense of what he believes is right for the country. This unwavering commitment to his values is a source of both strength and criticism. While some admire his steadfastness, others view it as inflexibility. However, Biden's supporters argue that his principled approach is precisely what is needed in a time of political opportunism. They point to his long record of public service as evidence of his genuine desire to make a difference. Joe Biden entered the White House with a wealth of foreign policy experience. As a senator and vice president, he had been deeply involved in shaping America's role in the world. He brought this experience to bear on a range of complex challenges, from the withdrawal from Afghanistan to the ongoing conflict in Ukraine. The withdrawal from Afghanistan was a particularly difficult decision. Biden faced criticism from both sides of the aisle for the chaotic execution of the withdrawal. However, he remained steadfast in his belief that ending America's longest war was the right thing to do. Biden's response to the Russian invasion of Ukraine has been widely praised. He has rallied international support for Ukraine, providing military and humanitarian aid. Biden has also imposed tough sanctions on Russia, aiming to cripple its economy and pressure Putin to end the war. Biden's foreign policy is guided by a belief in multilateralism and the importance of working with allies. He has sought to repair relationships that were strained during the previous administration. Biden believes that America is strongest when it leads with diplomacy and works in concert with other nations. His approach to foreign policy is a marked departure from his predecessor's America First agenda. Biden believes that America must engage with the world, not retreat from it. He sees diplomacy and cooperation as essential tools for addressing global challenges, from climate change to nuclear proliferation. Biden and Trump. The 2020 presidential election presented a stark choice between two vastly different leaders. Joe Biden, the seasoned statesman, campaigned on a message of unity and experience. Donald Trump, the brash businessman, sought to continue his disruptive brand of politics. Biden's temperament and leadership style are a stark contrast to Trump's. Where Trump thrives on conflict and confrontation, Biden seeks consensus and compromise. Trump's presidency was marked by chaos and division, while Biden has aimed to restore a sense of normalcy and stability. While Trump often resorted to personal attacks and inflammatory rhetoric, Biden typically maintains a more measured tone. He prefers to focus on policy differences and appeals to reason over emotion. This contrast in style reflects their fundamentally different approaches to leadership. Trump viewed the presidency as a platform for self-promotion, while Biden sees it as a sacred trust. This difference in perspective is evident in their policies, their rhetoric, and their interactions with the world. The contrast between Biden and Trump highlights the profound impact a president's personality and values can have on the nation. Section 5. The double-edged sword of strength, when assets become liabilities. Joe Biden's strengths as a leader are undeniable. His empathy, his experience, and his unwavering commitment to his principles have served him well throughout his long career. However, these very strengths can also at times be perceived as weaknesses. Biden's empathy, while admirable, can lead to accusations of being soft or indecisive. His critics argue that he is too willing to compromise, even when it means sacrificing his own positions. They point to instances where they believe he has been too accommodating to political opponents. Biden's long experience, while a valuable asset, can also be seen as a liability. His opponents portray him as out of touch with the concerns of everyday Americans. They argue that he is too wedded to the ways of Washington and that he lacks the fresh perspective needed to tackle the country's challenges. Biden's unwavering commitment to his principles, while admirable, can also be perceived as stubbornness. Critics argue that he is too reluctant to change course, even when presented with new information or changing circumstances. They believe that his adherence to his beliefs can sometimes blind him to alternative solutions. These perceived weaknesses highlight the complex nature of leadership. What are seen as strengths in one context can be perceived as weaknesses in another. Biden's challenge is to leverage his strengths effectively while mitigating the potential downsides.